You don't notice it at first. Nobody ever does. The betrayal doesn't start with another man. It starts with silence. It's in the way she stops asking how your day was, the way her laughter fades from the house, the way her phone lights up more than her eyes do when you walk in. You sit across from her, same table, same faces, but somehow it feels like you're miles apart. You tell yourself, she's just tired. We both are. You ignore the chill between you. You ignore the way she pulls away first when you touch her hand, because you're a man, and men are taught to endure, to fix, to hold it all together, even when it's already falling apart. But deep down, you feel it. That strange hollow ache in your chest, that quiet panic that whispers, something's wrong. You don't know it yet, but you're standing at the edge of a story you never thought would be yours, a story of a man who gave everything and realized, too late, she'd already left, long before her body ever did. You see, betrayal doesn't always look like infidelity. Sometimes it's emotional starvation. Sometimes it's neglect dressed up as normal life. And by the time you notice, you've already been dying by small degrees. Every unanswered message, every cold shoulder, every "I'm fine" that meant the opposite. You start to second-guess yourself. You start walking on eggshells. You start apologizing for things you didn't even do. That's hypervigilance. Your nervous system has learned to scan for danger, emotional danger. You're trying to predict her moods before they turn into storms. You're not crazy. You're trauma-trained because somewhere along the line, you learned that love can turn into punishment. That affection can disappear overnight. That silence can hurt more than shouting ever could. You start thinking, maybe if I try harder, she'll come back. So you become the problem solver, the provider, the protector. But she doesn't want your protection anymore. She wants something she can't even name. And that's the cruel part. You don't realize she's already disconnected. Emotionally, spiritually, piece by piece, you're loving a ghost who still sleeps beside you. Men rarely see it coming, not because they're blind, but because they were raised to survive love through loyalty, not awareness. You were never taught emotional literacy. No one told you how to read a sigh or what silence meant. You thought staying was strength. You thought endurance was love, but sometimes endurance just keeps you in the fire longer. You remember the beginning. Her laugh, the way she looked at you like you were everything she'd ever prayed for. What changed? She did. You did. Life did. But under all that change lies something deeper. The attachment patterns you both brought into the relationship. Maybe she learned love meant control. Maybe you learned love meant sacrifice. Two wounded children in grown-up bodies, trying to build safety with tools made from fear. That's the tragedy. That's the truth most men never see until it's too late. She stopped feeling seen. You stopped feeling wanted. And in that gap, someone else arrived. Not always a man. Sometimes just attention, validation, someone who listened. You want to hate her for it. But deep down, you know you stopped listening too. Not because you didn't care, because you were busy surviving. Busy being the man you thought she needed, instead of being the man she could still feel. Psychologists call this emotional drift. It's when two people slowly move apart without realizing it. The connection fades, but no one says a word until it's gone. By the time the truth hits you, you're standing in the ruins, asking questions that will never have satisfying answers. When did she stop loving me? Was it something I said? Was it something I didn't do? You replay every moment like an investigator of your own heartbreak. But the crime scene is emotional, and the fingerprints are invisible. And here's what no one tells you. The betrayal hurts less because of what she did, and more because of what it did to your identity. You thought you were her anchor, her safe place, her forever. Now you're questioning your worth, your masculinity, your ability to ever trust again. But listen carefully. Her betrayal doesn't define you. Your reaction to it does. This is where the healing begins. When you stop trying to understand her choices and start understanding your pain, that ache in your chest, that's not weakness. That's your inner child, the part of you that still believes love has to hurt to be real. You've been emotionally neglected, not just by her, but by a world that never gave you space to feel. You were told, be strong, don't cry, move on. But healing doesn't come from moving on. It comes from moving through the memories, through the silence, through the self-blame. One day, you'll wake up and realize her leaving wasn't your ending. It was your awakening. You'll start to see how much of yourself you gave away just to be loved. You'll start to rebuild your boundaries, not as walls, but as doors. You'll start to recognize that love isn't supposed to cost your peace. And when you look back, you won't see betrayal. You'll see a lesson, one written in heartbreak, but signed in strength. Because men like you don't just survive betrayal, they rise from it, wiser, sharper, more aware of what real love actually feels like. So breathe, let her memory fade, let your heart grieve what it lost, and thank it for still beating through it all. You didn't lose her, you found yourself. If this spoke to you, subscribe. You're not alone, you're healing.